So
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We've missed you. You're listening to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour, brought to you live from the robust Cannabis Studios at K-Kid 92.9. This is that 2-hour Cannabis Talk radio show where we cover all kinds of great things, from industrial hemp processes to the cannabis being sold down the street at your neighborhood dispensary, all the way into the things happening all the way across the 50 states and more when it comes to this plant. So welcome back to the show, everybody. We've got one heck of a solid show lined up for you. I'd like to welcome my crew. What's up, Steve from K-Kid? We got you on the mic. Tim Harms, my co-host with the most, and we got Justin Trowbridge from Route 66 Labs holding down our digital side and everything we look like on all the sides. We appreciate you, Justin. How you doing down there?
Hanging in there.
Right. I like that a lot. Hey, so Tim, I got you lined up with all the paperwork here that we're going to talk about today, all kinds of good stories and things going on across the United States. But I want to welcome, we've got a good guest that's going to be on this show this evening while you guys are here. We've got our friend Chip Paul, who's been on the program before. And let me tell you all something about Chip Paul. He's an endocannabinoid forensic researcher. Is that how you say that?
That's
Did I
good.
nail that?
That's perfect.
All right. What that means is he's a whole lot smarter than all four of us on this show when it comes to all the things that we actually talk about on this show. So I really love him having him on here, because when you talk about cannabinoids and our endocannabinoid system, for Chip, it comes down to science and healthcare. And that's what I love about it. He really puts the pieces together for folks. So be ready for a really solid conversation with him. And we're going to talk about a new product out on the market called Reveille. I like to think of it as a reverse edible, and I'll tell you why when we get into it. So it's going to be a heck of a show. You guys ready to pop it off for him?
Hey, when did you make up the reverse edible?
You didn't like that?
I liked it. I
just
never
now,
heard it before.
Just now. It's a reverse edible.
Okay.
Yeah, it's easy peasy, man. You know, just to be said, we said in the past couple shows, Justin had called it the Narcan of weed, and I thought, it can be the Narcan of weed, but I like to think of it as reverse edible because I feel like that's just a little softer on my palate.
I'm okay with that. What do you think, Justin?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Narcan's for drugs, so we should probably not use Narcan.
Yeah, I mean, but it is, but just to be real, Narcan is a really solid product out there, saving lives day in and day out. So I never want to say that that's a bad thing. I just like to equate this just a little bit different. But for some folks, that's an absolute great way to put it. If I'm an EMT, if I'm a firefighter or someone that's saving lives daily, and that's how I communicate, a firefighter's not going to care about reverse edible when they're saving a life. They want to know about Narcan of weed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I'm writing this down. We can use this then?
Yeah, you use whatever you want, baby.
All right.
Checks in the mail and the invoice is on its way. All right, so I learned that from my bean counter friend, Steve. Hey, all right, so Tim, pull up a couple of sheets here. We want MOTAX and we want sales. And the first one I'm going to go over is sales, because we do want to go over the numbers on what Missouri's bringing in, because in Missouri, our sales do go towards some really great things when we talk about the taxes. So I'm going to talk about the taxes too.
Dude, you got these all mixed up.
I did it on purpose. I told Steve ahead of time. I said I'm going to get them all willy-nilly over there.
All right, let's roll. Sales.
Yeah, okay, sales. So let's talk about the sales here. So, All right, according to Missouri's Division of Cannabis Regulations, now that used to be called the DHSS, but now they have their own thing going on. That's the Division of Cannabis Regulations. Missouri has sold more than $471 million of marijuana in the first 4 months since adult use sales began in February. That's $471 million of marijuana sold in the first 4 months since February. In May alone, just May, okay, Missouri dispensaries sold 120 million, almost 121 million,
Wow.
0.9. Yeah.
Wow.
Almost $121 million worth of cannabis. I've never seen, it's wild, including 92.6 million in adult sales and 28 million in medical marijuana sales. Medical marijuana sales are still kind of holding pretty steady in Missouri. We are
28
seeing,
million.
yeah,
That's pretty heavy.
yeah, we're seeing a little drop in card count, but people are purchasing more too. So there's that part where that's catching up just a little bit because of that.
Let's not leave out Canada tourism that's coming to the lake right now.
I want to get into that during this episode because we've got a lot to talk about. We went up to the lake, visited up there, saw Latitude, our sponsors up there, Dimitri, and there is a different vibe, just a completely different vibe, and they know what's coming, and we're going to talk about it. Yeah.
They're happy.
Man, the patients are happy, the people are happy, and
Man.
Latitude's growth is going to blow people's mind.
And I'm super happy for Dimitri.
Yeah.
That kid deserves it. He's worked his biscuit off.
Right.
Yeah, man, no biscuits for Dimitri.
So how long has it been open up there?
Oh, sorry about that.
Since the beginning of adult use.
Okay.
Or excuse me, medical.
Okay.
So they've been a little over 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
They've been sponsoring the show for 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to the Cannabis Business Times, Missouri is poised to become the nation's 6th largest legal cannabis market. Now that kind of bummed me out when I first heard that. I'm like, we're number 6. Like, what do we got to do to fix that? And you touched on it. It's going to be that summer market at the lake, Branson, our tourist market. All right, so it says at its current pace, Missouri, with a population of roughly 6.2 million people, will eclipse 1.3 billion in total cannabis sales in 2023. Our first year out the gate, 1.3 billion. Do not pretend like we do not smoke marijuana in Missouri. Don't do it, and don't discount the lake. Lake of the Ozarks has got it going on. You know, we were we were meeting some Arizona folks from the Latitude team, and they said it really well. I said, you know, the lake people are discounting it. I said they're going to drink their weed here, they're going to eat their weed here. It's going to be a fun time, and everybody from all 50 states. And they said, yeah, man, you know, when I tell people in Missouri, this is what Dimitri told us. He said, when I tell people about Lake of the Ozarks back in Arizona, I tell them it's just like Lake Havasu, but with weed. And
Right.
like, it is, man. It's quickly becoming like that party spot, just like that. All right, so
Think
it says
about the Party Cove this
right,
year.
right. Party cone? Is that what you said?
Party Cove.
Yeah, we'll turn it into the party cone.
Party Cove.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I'm into it. We're going to talk about that. The pre-roll market is exploding, and it seems to be the only market in all of cannabis that is going up in price while everything else is dropping. We'll talk about that a little later, too. So only 5 adult use states, that's California, Michigan, Illinois, Colorado, and Massachusetts, will likely have larger sums of cannabis sales this year. That ticks me off.
Why?
Massachusetts. I didn't know they were going gailing on. I didn't know Massachusetts was hard like that. I didn't know they were smoking that much cannabis.
Dude,
there.
you ever been to Boston?
I guess I need to go
There's
to
weed
Boston.
everywhere out there.
They got that Boston THC party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Hey,
start
what
paying
we
for weed. That should change New Mexico's standings.
There you go.
Yeah, see, Justin, if you'd stop getting all the free.
I know too many growers are like, here, try this, try that, have some of this. It's like, come on, dude, I need to pay for weed at some point. Let's go.
Yeah, I stopped calling Justin around 5 p.m. every night because usually by then he's sampling some of his friends' stuff down there. And he sends us some funny pictures, Tim and I. All right, so it says that it also noted that Missouri is already outperforming a pack of legacy markets out west, including Washington, Oregon, and Nevada.
Wow.
So we're busting Vegas's head. So don't discount us yet. That's it. Here's the quote. This is from Andrew Mullins, who's been on the show quite a few times. He's the executive director of MoCan Trade. Missouri's quick ascension into the top 6 cannabis market shows that the recipe of low tax, customer-friendly access, and tremendous community, love that, buy-in, is maximizing the industry's impact on Missouri economy, said Andrew Mullins. He said cannabis sales have already generated $100 million in revenue to Missouri. That's taxes alone, folks. $100 million in taxes, with total sales of $1.2 billion and more than 15,000 direct jobs created. After just that first 4 months of adult use, it's apparent that Missouri is proving to be one of the most successful launches of a new marijuana market in the country's history and a roadmap for other states to follow. I want to point out that the states that have gotten us beat in sales, they've been there. They've been doing it. We're right out the gate and we're busting that head, and I don't think
Right.
it's going anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, right. It says, unlike in other states where local governments have sought to ban adult use marijuana sales, communities across the state are embracing having the economic benefits of Missouri's newest #1 billion-dollar industry as part of their local economy. And let me tell you something. When I was sitting on city council here, I told them this was coming. I said the camels are coming, and you can either be prepared, open your purses up and accept it and expect it, and then do great things with it, or you can miss the bus entirely, which it seems so many of them are.
Right.
So it's wild.
So did we miss the bus?
Phelps isn't getting a tax out of us right now.
Right.
No, and their commissioners are going to get sued by Normal for trying to get one out of us. So thing is, if you had it, and this is not to attack our local city councilman or across a city council person, but in any particular, any pick anybody, any neighborhood, if you don't have it together, when you're talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars, if you're not prepared for that times 10, why are you sitting there?
Right.
Do you even want to participate? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Meanwhile, you got the county commissioners are trying to fill up their plates, and they're not even allowed to, but they were certainly prepared to.
I think the micro licensing is going to change a little bit of that energy.
Yeah.
That's why, having more people apply for these licenses and understanding what that craft market is actually going to be like.
And I'm going to go over the qualifications that people need to know for those craft licenses and a path for them to get a hold of those, to be in that lottery.
Let me say something real quick. In all of our conversations that we've had with the whole craft industry, people that like the craft marketplace, you look at the craft beer industry.
Exactly, bro.
Okay, so that conversation really are the craft beer companies that make that segue and build that bridge to the cannabis game are the ones that's going to show out in the long run because they come together. It's a culture.
It is.
And the craft beer industry has done a phenomenal job building that outdoor venue culture. Now we can consume.
And I'm going to tell you something. When these new craft cannabis shops, we call them that, but there are social equity play here in Missouri, our micro licenses. When those flowers start to pop out, I'm not going to mind paying a 25-30% premium if what I'm getting is small batch done by someone who really knows and cares. Isn't, no offense out there, industry, but isn't sitting in your garden making $15 an hour. I want that cat paid. I want him so happy that the happiness falls off his fingers right into those trichomes for me to smoke. Let's take care of him. This is going to be a wild new market. And don't expect don't expect to run in and grab $20 eighths. You don't want that. If you want that, go to Good Day Farm. They got that. They love having that. We love for them to have that. But that's not what we're looking for here. I don't want to go in and pay $9.99 for a 6-pack of craft beer next to the $8.99 Bud Light. I want to pay $20. I want something good. I want something that's got a hometown flavor, that's pushing jobs and is highlighting people that know what they're doing. That's what this market's going to be. It's going to be craft. It's going to be that cultivator. Hopefully, I pray it'll be that cultivator that we all know out there that we've loved on the streets and hug that plug day in and day out. And they deserve it. Those are the folks that I'm hoping come out in the woodworks here. So,
well, and think about the relationships between the industry and the craft industry.
Right.
That's how we start building that bridge because they've made all the mistakes. They know all the compliance stuff. There's a lot that can come into a relationship after those licenses are won.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Do I need a break or am I good to go?
You're good to go.
All right.
There's 6 minutes.
Right on. So it said in April, hundreds of Missouri cities and counties voted in support of the local marijuana sales tax. Missouri's now surpassed 15,000 direct jobs in the industry. Early indications are that those jobs pay higher than cannabis jobs in many other states.
Wow.
Which actually, just to be real, I have an article we're going to talk about later. New Mexico, and actually I guess I'll just say it. New Mexico is a little bit different. They're reporting, there's a report that I'm going to read that states that New Mexico is paying their cannabis jobs much, much more than they are paying regular jobs. And that's why people are so happy in that New Mexico market.
$420 an hour.
I don't think that's true.
No, it's not.
I will move now. On my way. Let's talk about those taxes, though, right? Because we're talking about all the good things that cannabis can do. But I do want to point out the $100 million that they've taken in taxes could be more. Like I said, if there weren't politicians, local ones, okay, sitting on their bottoms, afraid to even say the word marijuana for fear of stigma or blowback from some church head, forget all that. Think about the roads that lead to the churches. Think about the kids that need the food, that go to the churches. Think about how your taxes can change. Those kind of conversations instead of being worried about it, because locally, that's what happened here. I'm just going to say it. They were afraid to get in front of the conversation. So the bus left without us. So in Phelps County, our people are not going to be able to enjoy those wonderful taxes that could be helping. And that's happening across the board. Some of them are making some good moves. So I know Springfield's moving towards that mark. Kansas City, St. Louis, all the Columbia, all the big ones already did it. But out here in the sticks where we need the money the most, we're sleeping. Stop it. That doesn't make sense.
Harm reduction.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game, right?
Yeah. Well, we're still going to keep you.
Okay.
We're not going to get rid of harms.
Appreciate you.
Oh. All right. So here's the tax. Thank you for that. Thank you, folks. Thanks. I had 5 jokes before that. You chose the dumb one to laugh at. All right. Here we go. All right. Since Missouri's marijuana sales began in 2019, the state has collected nearly $100 million in revenue from taxes and program fees. That's $100 million, guys. That's a lot of bread.
And that all went in their bank, no problem, huh?
No, yeah. Isn't that the weirdest thing? Say that again, Justin. Explain what you just said for my listeners.
$100 million went straight into the state's bank account. No problem.
No Safe Banking Act. No protection needed. No stopping anywhere. Yeah, just straight to the bank. Etched in the state's constitution is a roadmap for where that revenue goes. Now, the first step, of course, is operational costs. It costs money to run this program, right? Like there's salaries and maybe a couple overstuffed salaries and like all kinds of stuff going on they got to pay for. The first step, of course, is taking care of those. Now, by law, any expense it takes to run both medical and recreational marijuana programs like salaries and professional services all have to be paid through those marijuana revenues. So before the vets get anything, before the attorneys get anything, we got to pay the bills, keep the lights on. That means the salaries for cannabis inspectors will never compete with that of school teachers, which come out of the state's main pot of money. So that being said, you've never got to worry about somebody not getting their paycheck because cannabis folks are getting paid. It does come out of our weed money. After expenses, that revenue goes towards supporting veterans, funding drug addiction treatment programs, and adding to the Missouri Public Defender System's budget. And I'm almost through here, Steve, and then we're going to take a break. A big asterisk on all this money is that legislators must pass budget bills that appropriate these funds. That's right. These funds can't even be touched unless they get them appropriated first through legislators. And those cats are not fast. If the governor signs the bills, then the money starts flowing to those areas when the state's fiscal year starts on July 1. Now, as of April 31st, there was $22.7 million in the state's medical marijuana fund and $10.9 million in the recreational marijuana fund, according to the state's treasurer's records and DHSS. That means right now sitting there is $33 million that can't go anywhere because they haven't filled out the proper paperwork, basically, and put their John Hancocks up there at the Capitol on it. But we know that they're going to because they have to, and our Constitution dictates it. All right, folks, when we get back, we are going to talk to Chip Paul, our forensic researcher, and we are going to talk about qualifications for Missouri cannabis micro licenses. But first, we're going to pay some bills. You are listening to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour. We're brought to you live from the Robust Cannabis Studios right here in K-Kid 92.9.
Chess is the perfect metaphor for business. You have to consider every angle before you move. You and your opponent have the same rules to follow. Not now, Michelle. I'm recording this ad right now. No, I didn't pick up that cheese you like. Well, I didn't see it when I was at the store. What is that in your hand? Oh, this is that fire concentrate we got the other day? Hell yes, I'll do a dab with you. Why didn't you just say that? Oh, this is still recording. Check out the creative minds at Route 66 Labs. Obama. Out!
I'm so freaking tired this morning. Isn't saying something is indescribable just describing it? If a pregnant woman goes swimming, is she a submarine? What if two bots match on Tinder? Do they ever give up? Do fish get seasick in storms? Why is abbreviated such a long word? If a kid refuses to sleep during nap time, are they guilty of resisting arrest? Pizza is a circle, cut into triangles, and delivered in a square. Wax Off is the greatest dab cleaner ever. Kinda slippery. Huh? Not again! Thanks for waking me up, Lil Waxy.
Here we have a prime example of a macaque. His name is Marcus. This particular macaque is bored. He's tired of the same old concert experience. Us too, little buddy. Well, you're in luck, Marcus. Introducing Captain Crossfade, a blend of THCV and CBC. This drink is the life of the party. Energy and focus, as well as an, enhanced experience with other consumables. Marcus is now ready to party all night long. Look at him go. Brought to you by Waxy Brown.
At BesaMe Wellness, we're all about supporting the health and well-being of our community. With a wide selection of locally curated medical marijuana products, we'll help find what works best for you. Don't have a card? Let us help navigate the application process. And if you can't make it to one of our 5 convenient locations, we'll even deliver to your door. Visit us in-store or online at BesaMeWellness.com.
People always ask me, how do you do it? What's your secret? How long did it take? What kind of dedication do you have? How do you do it every day? Well, the truth is, I'm high as most of the time. And I wax off a lot. I mean a lot.
Welcome back to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour, brought to you live from the Robust Cannabis Studios at K-Kid 92.9. All right, folks, we appreciate you very much for tuning in to that 2-hour Cannabis Talk Radio, where sometimes you may hear us cough. I'd like to welcome to the program our friend Chip Paul.
Right on time.
Chip, got you, buddy. I got Chip Paul on the program. Welcome back, Chip.
Welcome Wax. Glad to be here.
Very cool. So I couldn't just let you jump on without telling folks you're a forensic researcher, and like I said in the beginning of this program, Chip has a lot better knowledge about everything that we talk about on this show, a lot more than the rest of us that are on the show. So we appreciate you taking the time, Chip, to stop on by today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys.
Very cool. So the conversation of the day is what we said earlier. We want to talk about the reverse edible effect that we can get from Reveille, a new product that's out there. We know that folks like myself, I like to go really, really hard with the THC. I like to consume sometimes upwards to 1,500 milligrams of cannabis at one time. I do enjoy that ride. Now, some folks, if they were to do that, would go on a ride that they don't want to be on. So that's what Reveille's all about. Chip, you take us on a little walk here on what makes this new product effective and how this all came to fruition.
Yeah, sure. It's a lot of people, and you guys have all heard the stories, right? So you have grandma's having trouble sleeping, so she goes and either asks someone with a card or gets her card and gets her gummies, and she takes the 50 milligram edible right before she goes to bed.
Yep. Good night, Grandma.
It ends up calling the hospital, right? Or you have the situation where a child, potentially gets into gummies, and then this happens frequently, and now that child is in quite a bit of distress, and a dog even. So what do you do? What do you do in that situation? Well, if you look at kind of what makes that situation bad, there's nothing in cannabis itself and THC that's going to harm anyone, right? So it's regardless of how much they've taken, they're going to be fine as soon as it wears off. But it's getting them through those few hours of discomfort that's super important. And the main thing that happens is people get really, really anxious. And the more anxious that they get, the worse it gets, right? So it's like this perpetual feeding cycle. They get anxious, they get scared, it gets worse, they feel worse, they start hallucinating, all kinds of stuff will start happening.
That happens too.
Absolutely. So in the Reveille product, what the sort of the design around that product is to cut that anxiety down to nothing, right? So, and if we can cut that anxiety down to nothing, that person, they're not going to all of a sudden be not stoned anymore. I mean, that they're still going to be, affected psychoactively, but the anxiety level is going to come way, 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 way down. And that will be a much more manageable experience for that person. It won't be so scary. It won't be so traumatic.
And that's what you find too. A lot of the times when you have people that overconsume, you'll find them saying things that aren't going to happen. Like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to die, or oh my God, this is happening, or oh my God. Well, really, you're panicking, and you need to calm down a little bit. And you need to understand what you're dealing with, and this can help with that. I do think, Chip, one of the things that's going to make this such an effective product and needed is the growth, the expansion of legalization. What we find even just here in Missouri is that when I look at a cannabis shelf and a dispensary, I'm going to see 95, to 150 different products right there in front of me, from everything from 5 milligrams to 250 milligrams. And if I'm not a seasoned person and I don't understand all that language so much, because a lot of people just don't yet, if I don't understand all that, I could go towards the wrong thing. In Missouri, we also have gifting is legal here. So like if somebody just hands you something, well, that's legal now. If you're 21 and up, of course. And you don't necessarily always know what that gummy is at the party that your friend Jerry gave you. So it's an effective tool in a situation where even the most seasoned people can run into issues. But your day one soccer mom also is going to want this product.
You know, when we first started looking at doing this hemp infused meal out at the country club this weekend, one of the first things we said is, okay, if somebody comes and consumes and gets a little too high, how do we handle that? So I just called Chip and I said, hey, brother, this is what we're doing. Here's what we're looking at. I went down there. We talked about it. He showed me all these different products that we're going to be able to display out there this weekend, that his formulas and what he's done to help patients is off the chart. And just starting with this one product that we're going to be able to stand up and tell people, if you consume too much, knock that over. If you feel like you're consuming too much over this meal, here's your reverse edible.
Yep.
What do you think about that reverse edible thing, Chip?
I like that. That's that's a clever name. You know, you can't, as you guys were discussing, I mean, it's, Narcan kind of has a connotation with opiates and, opiate overdose. And this isn't that. So I think it needs a different name. But at the same time, if you're dealing with a first responder or something and you say Narcan of cannabis, they'll get that right off. So
yeah, I think it's effective. It makes you stop and think, whoa, okay. Is there a need for that? Yes.
And what I love about it too is that because Chip's bringing all the science and the chemistry background that he's got, and biology for that matter, this is an organic setting versus like we looked at a Livital a while back, and it's like Breaking Bad level hazmat suits and respirators and duct taping sleeves to glove. I mean, it's like, do I want to put that in my body? Like, my God, like, really? And then Chip's like, yeah, this is just, it's organic compounds, and showed us the list. And I'm like, well, that's just stupid easy. Why would you not do that? I mean, it's just so much safer and easier for everybody.
What we've really found is, you can sort of go to the spiritual place, but God has built us quite the system of medicine out there, right? And that system of medicine is right in front of us. It's in nature. I mean, you guys have a show about it, right? So cannabis is part of that, but there's a lot more to that than just cannabis, right? So there's a whole system of plants that are, medicinal, and the system works. It works very, very well. I mean, we've been messing with the system for 8 years now. We hold patents in the system, right? So God's system works quite well. We always, though, for whatever reason, we always default to man, don't we? So we what's that doctor think? Or, but there's a very good system of medicine out there in nature. And so that's what we feel like we're onto. And we try to stick to that rather than, there's a lot of ways to, let's say, affect your CB1 neuroreceptor or unaffect it. But, natural ways are going to be the most easy for you to tolerate, the safest, the kindest, and it's God's system. So,
Chip, for my listeners out there, give us a quick rundown on why, how you got to where you're at educationally, what you've done to be at this level that you are with our endocannabinoid system, because you don't find this type of information and knowledge in your average hospital or nurse's office or almost anywhere for that fact.
God, I mean, it's, I really started on a journey, my wife and I pain, so my wife has pain, 2-level spinal fusion patient. I was a complete teetotaler, right, in 2013, did not drink alcohol, smoked cannabis up until I was 20, but, quit and, went to college and all that. So just quit doing everything. And so it had a lot of pain. Wife had a lot of pain, and we made a very intentional decision to go try marijuana. And to me, it was risky. I didn't know, I hadn't done anything. I didn't know if I was going to get addicted or not. Right. So all kinds of, scary thoughts. And this was 2013, but, we tried it. It worked for my pain. And that started me on a journey. I mean, that, I guess you could say that's the moment God lit me up, but it started me on a wide journey. I got fascinated by the fact that cannabis can, help you with acne and also, cure cancer. Right. So how in the world does that work and why? And so that got me researching the endocannabinoid system. I literally have made myself into a world expert on the endocannabinoid system. I read a lot of research studies, but I just literally got off the phone with University of Mississippi. University of Mississippi is building now a master's level program for endocannabinoid and cannabis study, and we were going over the curriculum, for that program, which is going to be very nice, very robust, similar to University of Maryland. And so there's two. University of Mississippi will be the second major. There's several minor universities, but major universities to offer some kind of cannabis or endocannabinoid training, but only two, which is pretty sad. So you have a real upside down situation in science with the endocannabinoid system. You have people that are lay people like me. I'm not a PhD or an MD. End up teaching, PhDs and MDs, which they love that, I'll tell you.
I've seen you at work, man. I've seen you at work.
With their noses up real high in their chairs.
Yeah, exactly. It's finally getting to the point. In 2016, they didn't care. There was like, oh, endocannabinoid, you're talking about snake oil, get out of here. Now they're starting to care, though. Now they're starting to see the, whether it's business or, we're really helping people, but now they're starting to, listen, which is good.
So Chip, from your experience in this industry and understanding both the hemp plant and the THC and how those industries kind of don't intertwine, where do you see that going in the future of research?
Oh boy, that's a really good question. So I think that is going to go state by state. What we're trying to do here in Oklahoma, I'm really trying to force this, and we've tried to do this through some legislative initiatives and also through a petition initiative, and we'll end up getting it done through a petition initiative. But the programs need to be combined. There's no reason, if you look at like this from a regulatory perspective, growing hemp and growing marijuana are the exact same thing. Indoor and outdoor is some nuance, but marijuana and hemp are the same plant. So again, they're same regulations, same SOPs, same regulatory body would in my mind needs to sort of be over that, and research is going to be similar. So to me, it all needs to be pulled into the marijuana regulatory, including the analytes. So delta 8 and THCO acetate and hemp all need to be pulled into marijuana regulatories. And that creates a better research situation, and it creates a better, let's say, lobbying situation to go lobby for research. So right now you've got one of the big problems, research is a problem, but it's just like banking and insurance, right? So those are sort of big problems in the industry. Another big problem that we have right now is coverage for people who are trying to do clinical care. So like your bud tenders out there, as soon as I come into a Missouri dispensary and somebody asks me, hey, what's wrong with you? And I say, some disease, oh, I have rheumatoid arthritis, and they help me, I can sue them for playing doctor, right? And so we've been talking to the Oklahoma legislature here about coverage, for that, and also for natural products practitioners, right? So if you just sell CBDs, I mean, you need some kind of protection and coverage. There's got to be boundaries and all that, in there. But yeah.
And that's what's happening right now at a lot of the head shops, a lot of these CBD stores. Are we really giving patients right information? Not consistently, we're not.
Well, first off, I would say that information is going to come from two sources inside a shop like you're discussing. One is going to be from the actual person servicing you, and I'm going to say no, that they probably don't have the level of education you're asking for. And number two is going to be packaging. And in a completely unregulated market, no, you're not going to get the correct information most of the time off of a box.
Yeah. So how do we plug? And these are nuances that, if we were in the baking industry, right? So it's all figured out, man. They figured it out in the 20s or whatever. This industry is new. And so these nuances, we'll have to deal with and kind of get in front of as they come up. But it's in all of our best interest, really, as activists in this space to talk to each other, right? So it's you guys are going to be, Missouri's going to be ahead of Oklahoma in some ways. Oklahoma's going to be ahead of Missouri in some ways. So
yeah,
so
we'll always crush you guys in green chili production. So it is what it is. Not that there's
New Mexico's killing it.
yeah, New Mexico's doing that. So you guys have done it interestingly. So no one's done it perfect yet. You can't say that.
Yeah. So, awesome stuff.
Hey, so hold on. So Chip, you got a couple other products that I've been working with here. I'd like you to talk a little bit about them and these spices. And I mean, I know you kind of used me as a guinea pig, saying that's a really good hangover cure. So I've tested that, and you're 100% correct. But seriously, tell the people about these combinations and these spices that you've come up with that really trigger energy and inflammation.
Yeah, sure. We've got two. We've got lots of products. So TrueMedix, TrueMedx.com. You can find our products, but some of the products we're specializing and sort of sending out into the cannabis market, let's say, and those are the products that you have. And so the energy shot is it's kind of the same as our energy capsule. It's just extracted, ethanol extracted. But this is a shot that's really good for if you've got issues of mood, if you've got issues of energy, if you have inflammation issues. That is a very, very good product. It works in a shot form. It works really fast, so it will take effect within 5 to 10 minutes. You will feel it, absolutely feel it. I mean, it's, mood change is probably too strong, but you definitely feel the product. And that's so that product, the energy product, is designed for energy. It's designed for people who have mood issues. It's designed for inflammation. It's got turmeric in it, a lot of turmeric. And so, turmeric is allegedly better than metformin, as far as an anti-inflammatory, which is a diabetes drug. So it's super, super powerful, that formulation. In the shot form, it'll last about 2 to 3 hours. Okay. Nice. So the other one that you have is a pain relief formulation. It's only 3 herbs. So it's kava, licorice, and clove. Those 3 herbs.
No, you tried the energy one.
Ooh, buddy. Yeah. Buddy, that energy one works. It's working too.
It's tough on the palate. It's tough on the palate right out of the gate, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad.
Well, if you just sit back and just think about what you're feeling when you drink that, it's a fun shot.
And that one synergizes really nice with coffee too, and cannabis. I mean, it's a nice synergy. The KLC is more built for pain relief, and we have, all kinds of stories on that one. But my best story is we are close to tribal area, and so we have light horse policemen that come in, and so light horse policeman came in. He's an executive. He said, "Hey, I'm on the SWAT team. And when I get off work, I can make it till 5 o'clock. But when I get off work, I got to go home and take my benzos.
Yeah.
I got to take my benzos because I'm dying in pain." And he goes, "I live in fear every night that I'm going to get the call, have to tell him I'm too stoned to go." I mean, and so he didn't want to do that. So he's literally gotten off the benzos with the KLC. So
very cool. Saving lives, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Chip, we had somebody in the chat ask if there was anything for MS that you've got in the hopper now.
Yeah, so MS, that energy product actually is a very, very good product for MS. MS is it's a tough one, right? So MS is phantom pain. It's an interesting sort of disease. Our tablets that we have are a combination of we have tablets called energy tablets, and we have tablets called comfort tablets. The comfort tablets or relief tablets. Sorry, the relief tablets are pain relief. So those two together work very, very well. Almost like they won't feel like a narcotic, but almost like a narcotic level of pain relief together.
Cool. Where can folks find those products?
So Tim can help you find those products. And you can also find them at our website, TrueMedx.com. So TrueMedx.com.
Right on. Hit my co-host up. He's got the 411.
That's right.
All right.
Well, hey, Chip, we really appreciate you taking
man.
the time to come in, and make sure, please, give a shout out to your wife, because she is doing an unbelievable job marketing and doing what she can do to get your brand out there. And I sure appreciate her very much.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. You'll appreciate that. And thank you guys so much for having me on. So anytime you want me, just call me.
Awesome, brother. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Chip.
All right, everybody. Chip Paul.
See you guys.
See you, Chip.
I'll tell you something. What a blessing to have somebody like that able to come on and talk to us about these things. So I learned there's just no time whenever he's been on a show where I haven't learned so much.
The first time I met Chip was in his place in Oklahoma. And after about an hour of him running through stuff, the only thing I could say was, can I buy some pot from you, like
Yeah.
an Animal House? Like that's exactly how I felt. Like just completely blown out of the water. Like, can I buy some pot from you? Because it was the only thing I could think of.
Well, and like the guy, not only is he great at what he talks about with the endocannabinoid system and all that, and has done the duty that all doctors should do, and he's the only one that's doing it.
He's
So,
putting the work in.
yeah, man. And so like it just amazes me whenever just about every time he opens his mouth. The wild thing about it is I understand everything he's talking about because
Yeah.
he's good at that. He's just so good at that.
He is. He
Terpenes.
really does. Yeah, he does a great job of equating to the layperson.
That's me.
Yeah.
Hey, for real, Steve, you need to try these products, man. You're at that age now where you need to focus more on energy and
pain.
and pain. Yeah,
I mean, you know,
we've been at that
sign me
age for a
up.
long time.
You know,
All right.
just make it taste like a strawberry shake, and I'm in, right?
Right.
Hey, anything that tastes good is not going to be good for you. Trust
That's
me, 'cause
just
this
a
stuff
rule?
tastes really bad.
Dude,
But it's good.
I'm not
But
gonna
it's
lie.
such a bad guideline to go by, though. I mean, it's like
Well-
go lick a tire. Oh, it's good for me. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense.
Don't lick your tires. Hey, I'll tell you though, I took a shot of that, and what it does do is it allows you to focus on just that for a second, nothing else.
It hit you pretty quick, huh?
It did though. I'm telling you, it does what he says it's going
Right.
to do. It does, and you know
Wow.
it. You
Wow.
know it. And you know what?
Feel it.
It's true. Like
Kind of tingly or what? I mean,
well,
what's,
you
what's,
you
what,
need
what
to
are you
have Steve
feeling?
try it on break, and we'll
No, I'm not
or
gonna try it.
live. Go ahead and give it to him now. Give it to him now.
Oh, no.
What it is, it's got clove in it, right, and some other things to have that real kind of not heat, but that it's kind of an overpowering
Oh.
feeling. But what it also
Gotcha.
does is tell you it's working, and it's not unpleasant. That'd be the wrong word for it.
No, the only unpleasant thing about it is putting it in your mouth.
Right? Yeah, that's the part.
Once it gets down, you're good to go.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, I guess we are going to take a break. I saw you pulled up our sheet over there, Steve. And when we get back, I want to talk about micro license a little bit and the qualifications it takes to get in that lottery. You guys are listening to that program, Slow Jam. It's the Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour, brought to you live from the Robust Cannabis Studios at Cake.
Somewhere.
Yeah, man. That's where we're at right here. We'll see you in a minute.
I'm so freaking tired this morning. Isn't saying something is indescribable just describing it? If a pregnant woman goes swimming, is she a submarine? What if two bots match on Tinder? Do they ever give up? Do fish get seasick in storms? Why is abbreviated such a long word? If a kid refuses to sleep during nap time, are they guilty of resisting arrest? Pizza is a circle, cut into triangles, and delivered in a square. Wax Off is the greatest dab cleaner ever. Kinda slippery. Huh? Not again! Thanks for waking me up, Lil Waxy.
Premium brand.
Organic. We're the best.
High quality.
Unique.
Premium brand.
different. We're unique. Unique. We're different. We're different. Premium brand. Oh my God! Those guys!
At BesaMe Wellness, we're all about supporting the health and well-being of our community. With a wide selection of locally curated medical marijuana products, we'll help find what works best for you. Don't have a card? Let us help navigate the application process. And if you can't make it to one of our 5 convenient locations, we'll even deliver to your door. Visit us in-store or online at BesaMeWellness.com.
Here we have a prime example of a macaque. His name is Marcus. This particular macaque is bored. He's tired of the same old concert experience. Us too, little buddy. Well, you're in luck, Marcus. Introducing Captain Crossfade, a blend of THCV and CBC. This drink is the life of the party. Energy and focus, as well as an, enhanced experience with other consumables. Marcus is now ready to party all night long. Look at him go. Brought to you by Waxy Brown.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour, brought to you live from the Robust Cannabis Studios at KKID 92.9. Waxy, why is it called the Robust Studios? Well, that's easy, because we love robust cannabis. That's sustainable cannabis. That is living soil cannabis. That is folks that are using their their elbows and getting there and growing this weed, as opposed to letting a bunch of nutrients in a grow down cube do the work for you. So, and you guys are out there in the dispensaries and you spot those bright red bags that say robust on them. You can see that if you're on the digitals right there on Steve's chest there, the robust symbol.
Right.
And you can always
Right
see it
behind
behind me here in the studio. But grab those big red bags and get them as big as you can too, because it is the best. They are delicious. The terpenes are right where they're supposed to be. Right here in Missouri, they are setting a standard on how that cannabis should be grown. So make sure
And
you guys
they have
experience that.
One of the finest rosins out there as well, too.
Yeah, their extracts are fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's for the same reason their cannabis is.
Well, and they got good pre-rolls. I mean,
Yeah.
everything coming out of there. Being able to tour these facilities is unbelievable, and just
and they're
seeing
all so
it, right.
different.
Yeah,
Right?
They are.
Everyone is different. Every one of these big cultivators. Wild stuff. All right, so we're going to pull out a little piece of paper you got over there called quals. Look for quals, Tim. It should be right there, the third one from the bottom up at the top, over there to the side. You'll find it there. All right, folks. So in Missouri,
I got it.
in Missouri, we are about to have a brand new experience that the United States has not experienced before, and that is a 144 new micro licenses are going to be issued over the next couple of years. So it's pretty cool. We've got 44 of them are going to release this. Or is there 2 rounds this year? 1 round this year.
I think there's 1 round
Yeah,
this year.
yeah, 44 new licenses. And there's 2 types of micro license applications out there that you can go for. You can go for retail, which is a dispensary. Of course, you're going to sell a bunch of weed. And then the other one is everything else except transportation and testing. That's your manufacturer license, and you're gonna do your edibles. You're gonna grow the flower, whatever your little craft cannabis heart desires to make. Once you have that license, you're free to do it under their regulations, rules, and standards, guidelines, blah blah blah. That.
So those two, the
Don't act so excited about compliance.
I love compliance. Go
the
ahead.
testing and the transportation. Now, from what I understand, that a micro dispensary has to buy from a micro cultivation and vice versa.
Right.
But how do those licenses fall on transportation and testing? Are they?
Pigeon. You have to use pigeons.
You have to use pigeons.
Passenger pigeons. Yeah.
Passenger
Trained
pigeon.
security pigeons.
That's painted on a van or something like that.
No, just you have to have
regular.
birds.
Okay.
No, you have to use the
Yeah.
same transportation, the same testing lanes as your comprehensive market out there. So it's
Now that to me sounds odd. If everything else has to be within the micro license family.
well, but is there really anybody out there that's craving a craft transportation license? It's all about the weed
Well,
with these things.
I guess
So,
when
well, it's about
there's-
social
yeah.
equity.
Yeah.
So maybe
Right.
I'll do it.
Justin's in.
I'm in. Let's
Justin's
go.
in all the way. All right. So
Gross.
in order to even be in the lottery, okay, it's a lottery this time as opposed to our medical market was a scoring graded system, right? I was never good at grades, so I'm really stoked about this lottery thing because I've always been a little lucky. But I do like the qualifications do have that social equity standard to them. So I want to go over those for folks because we've had a lot of questions over the last week. Since last week we talked a little bit about it. And I want to tell people what those qualifications are. Now, for my listeners out there, these are the qualifications that you're going to need in order to qualify for a Missouri cannabis micro license. At the end of this qualifications, once we go over those, Justin's going to give you a website that you can go for to actually get a free consultation from our team to see if you qualify for these. So check it out, y'all. So you qualify if you have a net worth less than $250,000 and an income below $250,000 of the 250% of the federal poverty level.
Check.
Check. All of us. Yeah, we're broke. Hey, so maybe not Steve. He's counting beans over there. I saw him looking like, all right.
What was it? $250,000 is your
You need to
net
have
worth
a
less?
net worth less than that, so you're out. And then your income below 250% of the federal poverty level, you're definitely not winning there. So and here's some other ones. So, or you could be a valid service connected disability card. You could have a valid service connected disability. Justin, what are you doing over there?
I'm just restocking my fridge. Sorry.
All right. It's a
And
good
sodas
time-
in there.
Great time to do that. So
Sorry.
here's one of the qualifications. You have to have a valid service-connected disability card issued by the United States Department of Veteran Affairs. That means that you need to be a disabled veteran. That does not mean that you need to be a veteran and disabled. You need to be service connected. That disability is going to connect right back to the service you did as a veteran. Now, if you're a veteran, honestly, you know if you're service connected disabled or if you're disabled. Those qualifications are pretty prevalent because you're getting paid for one of them. If you're collecting a check every month from the United States Department of the DoD for your service, then you are qualified. So if someone who has been or whose parent or guardian has been arrested, prosecuted, or convicted of a non-violent marijuana offense. Now, I was convicted of a non-violent marijuana offense, but I felt like it was kind of violent because I had 9 guns pointed at me by those police officers. So what they mean, though, is that I was not violent, and I
Right.
wasn't. My
You weren't
exact words,
armed.
yeah. And I know that some of
There
the
wasn't any other drugs involved.
Right. You know, I just to be real. When the cops got me, I was on my scooter, and they jumped out from behind these buildings. All 9 of their weapons pointed at me, and I promise you, what I said, I pulled right off a Trailer Park Boys, and the cops will even tell you I'm friends with some to this day. I said, "You guys brought guns? I didn't bring any," and that was it. I was like, I we're not on the same page. Boo that, yeah. All right, so if you have been arrested, prosecuted, or convicted of a nonviolent marijuana offense, you qualify. Also, if your parent or guardian went through that, you qualify because they shouldn't have gone through that because they could have spent a whole lot more time with you probably. But all right, so if you reside in a zip code or a census tract where 30% or more of the population lives below the federal poverty level, the unemployment rate is 50% higher than the state average, or the historic rate of incarceration for marijuana-related offenses is 50% higher than the state average, or, and it keeps going. But what's really important is Justin is going to give you the website that's going to make this all easier for you in the end.
Yeah, it's just K-Kid 92.9 Salem Raleigh, top of the hour. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for that, buddy. Appreciate that.
Just jumping in. I got you.
Here's another one. If you graduated from an unaccredited school district or live in a zip code with an unaccredited school district, you qualify. Now, I know a whole bunch of my listeners are on the FM right now, right here in the heart of Raleigh. Guess what?
What?
65401 qualifies.
Right.
Everyone's here, lives here. I don't care if you make $1 million. I don't care if you make no dollars. You qualify because you live in an area where we've had problems before in the past.
Right. So my question is, do you have to be a resident of the state of Missouri?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well,
and you know, you have to, let's say you qualify in Raleigh, right?
Right.
Well, that doesn't mean that you have to put, so let's say Steve puts in for one and you win a cultivation. It
Right.
doesn't mean that you have to put that cultivation in Raleigh. It means you have to live here. So
right.
There's a lot of stuff going on. There is a whole lot of nuances to this, though. It's not something that your average bear is going to be able to, your average guy is going to be able to pick up and figure it out in 10 minutes. It just isn't going to happen. There's a lot going on. So,
well, and they were saying, you know, when we went over here to the Mo-Canna trade, you know, to get into a dispensary, you know, you're looking at a minimum of $500,000 to $800,000.
and that's if you're half-assing it.
You know, to get into a cultivation center, you're
2
in
to
that,
5.
Yeah, 2 to 2. Well, yeah, they were in that 1.5 to yeah, like you said, you know.
Depends. I can grow a bunch of herb for 1.5 million in a great big cultivation, maybe even a little bit cheaper than that. But what I can't do is build a giant brand, and that's what you want to do here. You want craft cannabis that screams. You want to put money into your marketing,
right?
Your ability to pull the trigger and make sure that cannabis is in the eyes of the patients, that they see it.
Yep.
Well, Waxy, don't forget part of the deal with going through momicrolicense.com/Waxy is you get all the help up after you get the license from all of us. So you get the marketing and branding consulting, the compliance and labs testing side of it, you know, from a peer level versus from the stilted, you know, here's the lab side of it. You get all the brand awareness and advocacy and all the things that you bring to the table. And I mean, it's just, it's set up that you don't have to freak out if you win, you know, because you got everything covered and you got plenty of people backing you.
Yeah, because that's what this industry actually dictates and demands, because it's such a brand new industry, and because it's not like they issue out soda licenses and Pepsi and Coke, and some brands got to go fight for a license. It's a different ball game, and you have to be able to respond to their time frames. This industry is built to stand up very quickly, and you need to be able to do that. And a lot of folks don't have that ability, or even
they give you 2 years to get your facility up and running, but that sounds like an awful long time.
Yeah, no one wants to lose money.
Right.
I want that up, I want that up in 4 months. Let's ride.
Right. So being prepared, and if you're really thinking about getting into it, do your homework and due diligence on if the license comes through, you're not then starting to get the ball rolling.
And that's the cool part about going through us and the website that Justin's going to give you again in just a second. And that's it's that you get all that. It's all comprehensive. We want to take care of you. We want to listen. My team will tell you this. In the very beginning, I said, if we cannot provide further access for veterans, why are we not doing that? Why are we doing this? And so that's what this is about. From a selfish standpoint, from our team, is we want to make sure that everybody out there that served our country, that have that service-connected disability, or that are in those areas that deserve it, or people who have gone to jail, we want to make sure that this is an easy process for them, and it actually is accessible, and that the intent of the program is followed, and the intent is to get these licenses in the hands of folks who deserve them, just like those folks I was talking about.
So if you're out there listening right now, and your question in your mind is, well, but I don't have that kind of money, that's okay. Still go to what website, Justin?
momicrolicense.com/waxy.
And go through the process, and we'll help you through it.
There's a little form. It's a little bitty form. You're going to put some information in. You're going to get a call back from Amendment 2 consultants. They're going to give you a free consultation. On that call, you're going to say, I can't afford Zip, Doodle, and Squat, but I deserve a micro license. And we're going to make sure that Zip, Doodle, and Squat are taken care of.
Yeah, it's really a blessing that all of us have been able to work together with John and his team of people. Ryan, I mean, those guys are so good at the communication and getting your guys' questions answered, so that you know exactly what's going into this program.
Right.
Are those kids of like the Seven Dwarfs?
Yes.
I thought so.
Happy, hungry, sleepy.
Well, and for anybody that
marijuana.
Well, and for anybody that's looking at like trying to network to see what the industry looks like from behind the curtain, right? And maybe you've been a caregiver and you've seen that market. Maybe you've been a grower and you've seen that market. But I mean, you've got that. You still have tickets for that country club dinner, right, Tim?
Yeah, we have a few left.
Yeah, so that's something where if people were to go to that, which is pretty easy to get to, you get a good meal out of it, and you get to meet a lot of people that are looking for people that are trying to get into that market. So it's a good networking opportunity, and it's right there in Rolla, and you get to be a dope head in a country club, which I think is just beautiful. So good for you guys.
Let me tell you guys a little quick about that.
I'm gonna have to invite my neighbor then.
So
the
you
one
should.
that called me a dope head.
You should,
You're a
man.
dope head.
You should buy him a ticket.
It's like, I only got a license for that now, dude.
I got a dope head card.
Legal.
Card. We're a legal dope head. So let me tell you guys about that real quick. But what he's talking about is our hemp industry infused dinner. That's happening this weekend, Saturday, the 17th of June. There are limited seats, so you don't want to miss out on that. Hors d'oeuvres start at 7 and then dinner at 8. And you got industry guest speakers, swag bags. Have you spent a Saturday like that before? Why not?
Right.
Why not go get some good education, some good food, companionship, culture, community? It's all the boxes are checked.
I'm sure you're going to have like CBD drinks and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're not going to shy on cannabinoids.
Right.
There's no reason to do that.
Right.
And that is out of the Oak Meadow Country Club. And you guys can go to Hemp Hooray. That's some of the folks that Tim has partnered up with Harvester Scientific to put this event on. Go to Hemp Hooray's website, and Hemp Hooray is going to have tickets on the front that you can get there.
And I've got a link too, Steve. I'll forward on to you that if somebody wants a discount on their ticket, if you listen to K-Kid Radio, you can get a discount here at the last minute.
Okay, that's
awesome.
Do you want to give that code out over the air?
I don't know how to do that.
You don't know how to do it?
Justin, how do we do that?
I don't even know the code, so this is going to be interesting.
Okay, so I'll forward this
link.
link.
So the code I had was dinner 50, which gave you 50% off.
Yep.
There you go.
You go to pay for it. You just enter your code in, dinner 50. It knocks you down 50%. So, if two people can go for $100, and kind
Yeah.
of buy one get one free right there. So it's dinner 50.
Yep.
Good job, Steve.
And you'll get to see Waxy wearing a golf polo that's not tie-dye. I heard
What?
that. And then, yeah, aren't you wearing the little like half pants that kind of balloon out?
I don't
And
own
then you got the
anything
little
like what you're talking
polo
about.
thing and the little hat with the ball on
I'm
it.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like baggy Vance. I don't think so.
Right.
Hey,
All
well,
right.
a couple other of our
We'll just
sponsors.
get a couple of rubber bands and put around the
Yeah.
right under
Yeah.
the knee of his pants he's wearing. It'll look just fine. Get him some marijuana socks that come up to his knees.
We got those for
Some
you, baby.
Grateful Dead Crocs.
Wait,
and you're
for me?
in. Yeah.
Oh no.
You
Yeah.
don't want
You
no
can be the
Grateful
John Daly of the cannabis industry.
Dead? You would look so cool.
But his golf game is so bad.
Man, I'm not good.
I know.
I'm
It
not
is
good.
so bad.
I try. I'm gonna try the putt golf. I live over by that Uranus place on 44, and they got putt golf there. Alternatives.
So,
We
I-
drove past there on the way down to Branson.
puff,
That place is packed. It must be packed all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they're packing your fudge in there. I'm not going in there. I'm not doing that. All right.
Hey, let me give a shout out also to Pinnacle
Speaking
Hemp
of-
and Top Shelf Hemp also that
Yeah.
are sponsors this weekend.
Pinnacle, yeah, the sponsors for this infused dinner, you got Hemp and Puree, Top Shelf Hemp Company. You can find their products as well over at Colorful Vibes, some of our other sponsors. Pinnacle Hemp and the Missouri Hemp Trade Association are on here as well. And of course, our trusted Harvester Scientific, our local home grow testing cats out there. We love them. All right. So do we need to take a break?
Yes.
All right. We are going to take a break. And when we get back, I want to talk about find your sheet that says no good vibes. All right. We'll be right back, guys. You're listening to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour. We're brought to you live from the Robust Cannabis Studios right here in the Ozarks. K-Kid 92.9.
Chess is the perfect metaphor for business. You have to consider every angle before you move. You and your opponent have the same rules to follow. Not now, Michelle. I'm recording this ad right now. No, I didn't pick up that cheese you like. Well, I didn't see it when I was at the store. What is that in your hand? Oh, this is that fire concentrate we got the other day? Hell yes, I'll do a dab with you. Why didn't you just say that? Oh, this is still recording. Check out the creative minds at Route 66 Labs. Obama. Out!
I'm so freaking tired this morning. Isn't saying something is indescribable just describing it? If a pregnant woman goes swimming, is she a submarine? What if two bots match on Tinder? Do they ever give up? Do fish get seasick in storms? Why is abbreviated such a long word? If a kid refuses to sleep during nap time, are they guilty of resisting arrest? Pizza is a circle, cut into triangles, and delivered in a square. Wax Off is the greatest dab cleaner ever. Kinda slippery. Huh? Not again! Thanks for waking me up, Lil Waxy.
Here we have a prime example of a macaque. His name is Marcus. This particular macaque is bored. He's tired of the same old concert experience. Us too, little buddy. Well, you're in luck, Marcus. Introducing Captain Crossfade, a blend of THCV and CBC. This drink is the life of the party. Energy and focus, as well as an, enhanced experience with other consumables. Marcus is now ready to party all night long. Look at him go. Brought to you by Waxy Brown.
At BesaMe Wellness, we're all about supporting the health and well-being of our community. With a wide selection of locally curated medical marijuana products, we'll help find what works best for you. Don't have a card? Let us help navigate the application process. And if you can't make it to one of our 5 convenient locations, we'll even deliver to your door. Visit us in-store or online at BesaMeWellness.com.
People always ask me, how do you do it? What's your secret? How long did it take? What kind of dedication do you have? How do you do it every day? Well, the truth is, I'm high as shit most of the time, and I wax off a lot. I mean a lot.
Hour here in the Robust Cannabis Studios at KKID 92.9. Man, I'm telling you, it's been a good show so far. We're talking about lots of cool stuff, and we're not through. Did you pull up No Good Vibes, Tim?
I got it right here, brother.
First off, I want to say that new Latitude hat you have is fire.
That is nice.
Yeah, show the cameras. They can't. Yeah, point it down a little. Yeah, there you go. Got that Latitude in the house. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah, it was pretty cool when we were down there talking to Dimitri and James the other day, and
yeah.
I'm like, dude, I got to have a hat. I said, how much is the hat? He goes, go pick one out. And he goes over and goes to the other hats. He goes, you want the porn one? I'm like, hell yeah.
Steve, you might not know that, but that's actually a porn logo but it's pretty all over the internet. So
of course, I didn't know. I knew nothing about it till we walk out. Last he goes, do you know what he was talking about? No, what? Oh, now I do.
I told him, yeah.
Finally found it, huh?
That's the thing about working with you good-natured cats. wholesome dudes. Hey, so check it out. No Good Vibes. You found that one?
I got it, yeah.
So we were talking earlier about Reveille, and one of the things in that conversation that really stands out when you talk to Chip Paul is how important it is for him to use natural products to accomplish these things, right? So Big Pharma tries to do that too, believe it or not, but they don't like the natural products. They like to use all kinds of weird things to get stuff done.
So why is that?
It's the only way they know.
You should be the one who
control.
can answer that.
Yeah, it's control.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and cheaper.
Yeah, spices, trees, plants, barks, things that nature creates.
Can't really put a patent on those.
That's right.
Nope, can't. Nope.
They're trying though. Trust me.
All right, so check it out. As marijuana use in the United States reaches record highs around young adults, that's who we're talking about here, that category there is a growing need to address its potential for addiction, which I'll be honest, I agree with. I agree that we do need to be cautious with our kiddos. You know, in Missouri, 21 and under, you need a medical card. Well, there's, infants in Missouri that have medical cards for good reasons. So we don't want to necessarily say that, anyone 21 up doesn't need cannabis, because Lord knows, ailments don't choose ages. Right. So there's that part of it. But check this out. An experimental pill. You guys in, Steve? It's not like the ones you had in the 70s. An experimental pill, the first in a new class of drugs. Can you guys believe it? A new class of drugs has shown promise in treating cannabis use disorder. That's the CUD, the CUD, the cannabis use disorder. According to the results of a small trial published Thursday in Nature Medicine. Steve's already all over this one.
Okay.
All good.
How many were?
I'm gonna talk about all that. I got all the info. You're already mad. Listen to him.
I'm not mad.
I know,
just thinking,
but he's calling BS. Quick, watch the drug. Now it's got a name, and it sounds like a Star Wars droid. It's AEF-0117. That's the drug. It's AEF-0117. It sounds like a stormtrooper, like AEF-1007. Report to the bridge. Like, I don't like it. It was found to reduce the perceived, quote, good effects of cannabis. I'm going to read that again for Steve. It was found to reduce the perceived good effects of cannabis by up to 38%.
Now, why would you want to do that?
So, I mean, we'll get into it. Remember, we're talking about the youth, right? If they get a hold of it, they've got this new pill now that is AEF-0117. It's going to reduce those, quote, good effects. Okay. It was in a double-blind, randomized, controlled phase 2 alpha trial. I don't even know you probably know what all that means, Tim. I don't. Led by researchers at Columbia University. Now, phase 2 alpha. No, I don't think so.
Different Columbia.
I probably should have looked up that, honestly, but no. So if phase 2, in case you're wondering, typically means that researchers are determining the proper dosage for the next stage of testing. So now they're trying to figure out how much of this new class of drug known as AEF-0117. They're going to see if it's how much they need to give to the kids for them to stay off the weed or to feel better when they're on the weed. All right, Meg Haney, she's the lead author of the study and director of the Cannabis Research Laboratory at Columbia University. She described the preliminary findings on the medication as very encouraging. Yeah, right. No drugs have yet been approved by the FDA to treat cannabis use disorder. First off, who came up with that? I need to talk to him.
Remember when we were driving and my sister called me?
Yeah.
And the nurse gave her that piece of paper, said, "This is your problem.
You have this.
Yeah.
You have CUD."
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling it. CUD.
And she's like, "Is this like really true?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah, you're
just making that crap
You're
up.
way cutted up. You need to relax on the CUD.
You're just not getting good enough weed.
Yeah, you need better cut. You need better herb.
I'm totally baffled.
It says here that up to 30% of marijuana users have the CUD, the cannabis use disorder. It says 30% of us, so that means one of us in this room has it. It's not me.
Yeah, it's got to be me.
It's not Steve. You have it. You have CUD.
Yeah, that's why I got to keep smoking more.
You have to get over the CUD lump, the CUD hump. That's what they're going to call it. You have to get over that. But we are talking about the youth here, so we want to talk about why this actually is a thing.
Yeah,
here.
I'm way too old for that.
CUD is diagnosed as the inability to stop using marijuana.
Oh.
Now, do you have the CUD?
No.
You can stop?
Sure.
Do you want to?
Well, no.
That's different. They don't say that in here. We're fine.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and as far as being addicted, I mean, you've had to quit.
I never heard so much cynicism in one word. Addicted.
Yeah.
That was full. Go ahead, Justin.
I would say that's pretty bad when Steve's getting the one word with that much emphasis on it.
Added 2 extra syllables. Addicted. Did. He was mad about it. All right, here we go.
Whatever.
All right, so that's the inability to stop using marijuana. So I know now that I'm the one in the room that has the CUD. Even when it comes to significant disruptions in daily life, such as interfering with relationships at work or running out of gas on the freeway. An estimated 14 million Americans struggle. Listen, that did happen to me yesterday.
Well,
okay,
I know that.
So, an estimated 14 million Americans struggle with cannabis use disorder. I guess I just live with it. I don't struggle, so I'm okay. I don't think I fit in there. In 2021, that might have risen a little bit over the last couple of years, according to a report by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. They're the ones that know. Here's a quote. This is one of the few medications that I've tested to directly decrease the effects of cannabis, Haney said. The question I asked was, can I change the way it makes people feel and therefore help them to abstain from cannabis? I don't like her. I don't like Miss Haney. So the drug was studied in 29. You asked how many? It was you, right? Yeah. Steve wants to know how big the folks were. The drug was studied in 29 adult men and women diagnosed with CUD. They smoked on
total, or 29 men and 29 men.
Adult men and women. 29 total.
Total.
Yeah. They were smoking an average of roughly 3 grams of marijuana a day, 6 days a week. Stop the press. 3 grams, 6 days a week.
3 grams of flour a day.
Yeah.
That's like 3 joints.
Dude, you're done by noon. Oh, my bad. 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't know what noon is. Like,
That's one blunt.
I've already had 9 edibles, and like that's what I'm saying. But that don't judge me. I take that much cannabis because I work with Steve. Let's go here. Let's see.
Just has to keep up.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. So it said they had 3 grams of marijuana each, 6 days a week. What's that? 18 grams total.
Yes.
Yeah, that's. I don't do math too good. It's not that's already in grams.
Like
I'm not good.
A little over a half ounce a week.
That's not enough. And you have CUD at that point. I'm in trouble. I've got like ultra CUD or whatever comes after
so
that.
Basically what they've done is they've created a disease state
right
that they can funnel people into that smoke weed.
And it's brand new, they said. A brand new type.
Based on 29 people.
Yeah.
Such a representative cross-section of America.
Exactly.
29 people.
So the participants started. You want to know how it happened,
That's
right?
ridiculous.
Yeah. The participants.
Ridiculous.
The ones selected for this, they started the trial by either receiving the drug first or a placebo for 5 days. What is that? What is a marijuana placebo? Like, what are you going to give me? Like instead
hemp flower.
But I'm still going to catch a buzz off that. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to me the way they do.
That was a good comeback, though, Justin.
Yeah, yeah, not a comeback, but yeah, it's good info. So it said they started it with 5 days of treatment. They took the drug at 9 a.m. each day. Like, I'm not even going to get up till then. If I can't, like, they're basically telling me I got to wake and bake at 9. Like, that's way too late for me. And smoked a controlled amount of cannabis 3.5 hours later. So they're making these cats wait. They're breaking the control, the CUD. They're breaking the CUD. I see what they're doing here. Then they were asked questions like this. They were asked, do you feel high? And they were asked, do you feel a good effect? 5 times they were asked that, each question. From 20 minutes after smoking to 2 hours after smoking. That's the science. Do you feel high? And do you feel a good effect? So they don't want you to feel that. The lower dose reduced the subject's good effects of cannabis by 19%. I'm calling BS. Yeah. If you're bugging me about my weed and you're not giving me enough, of course it's going to fall by 19%. Probably going to fall by more than that. My irritation level is going to rise. My endocannabinoid system is going to get very frustrated with you.
Man, you'll be lighting up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, 90% I'm mad. That's how mad I am. Like,
for $1,000, do you feel high? Yes, I do. Give me my money. Thank you.
Give me more. Yep. So, and while the higher dose,
is that what they got paid? They paid 29 people.
It didn't say. It doesn't say if they got paid. That kind of makes me mad because, like, I want to be involved with these things.
Did they provide the cannabis for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, even fake cannabis.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And I'm
who do you know how good the cannabis was that they were smoking to begin with,
well,
or using? I mean, there's too many holes in this.
It was a super terpy 8% THC that they brought out to really knock people off their socks.
Well, and think about it, right? 30 people, and they're saying that the bigger dose managed to reduce it by 38%. But are you mixing all that up? Because you have half these people aren't smoking weed, half of them are. I'm not sure about your math here. Only the higher dose was able to significantly reduce the amount of cannabis that the participants ultimately used that day. We know that CBD does the same thing in a higher dose. So relax with the narcotics here and the toxins. It says the findings of the small trial will need to be confirmed in larger trials that are well underway, said Haney, as roughly 300 patients are being enrolled in the phase 2 across the country. Results are expected as soon as next year.
So does Haney have a ingredients of what his?
It's Meg.
Oh, Meg. Okay,
Meg.
Well,
I call her
she-
Meg the
does
Bummer
she-
Haney.
Is there like a what does this contain? What's in this potion that she's got?
No
You
data.
mean drug AEF
Yes,
dash 0117?
Right.
No.
Isn't
See, I could
that
tell you
Elon,
that. Big
Elon
pharma.
Musk's next kid's name?
What? Yeah, that is Elon Musk's kid. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not going to tell you that because it's
Is it really?
No, it's not. One, it's proprietary. Second, they don't want you to know all the nasty chemicals and stuff that they want to give you on
Well-
the daily. Watch the side effect list on it.
Well, that that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know.
AEF 0117. Side effects may include losing your arm, all your teeth,
Increased
fine light
gambling.
on your butthole. What? Increased gambling?
Yeah, that's a side effect I've seen on some drug shows on TV. Increased gambling. I'm like, really?
Yeah, because they sit in their front of their TV.
Right.
And,
Bingo.
bingo. There you go.
Yeah, so it's very interesting to see him bringing products like AEF 0117 into the market because guess what? We don't need it. There's natural products out there. Why don't you
Where
want
did it
to
go?
What?
That little bottle.
Oh yeah, Reveille right here.
Reveille.
Yeah,
Right.
Reveille.
There you go.
Yeah.
That sounds like that does the
The
same
reverse
thing.
edible.
But again, as we've talked about, not only is Big Pharma here, but they don't want a product like this to be successful. They don't want products that work in the
No,
marketplace.
they want you to stop smoking. They're trying to find a way to keep people from smoking weed. Like, all right,
Right.
take AEF 007 1942 because we lost 33% of our profits last year.
100%.
So, like,
all about money. They don't care about taking care of or healing people.
No. Big Pharma doesn't understand what the word heal means.
Yeah.
Show me one Big Pharma healing drug. And you probably could. I don't know. There's probably a good couple of them out there. But
Ivermectin.
yeah, ivermectin. Yeah. I don't know what that is. But all right. So,
Is it true the next study they're doing is for when your nose itches, they give you a high dose of heroin so that it doesn't itch? Is that
Right.
the
Yeah.
curative
Straight-
process? Okay.
straight to the capillaries. Here's your. Yeah, it's dumb. It's really dumb what they do. And if they can't come up with something new, they'll synthesize what's good and screw that up too. Like Mirinol. How good was Mirinol for everyone? Truthfully, I had friends with lung cancer that were taking Mirinol and having to trade it for their weed because the crap wasn't working.
Yeah.
It's like it's interesting to see Big Pharma take big swings at cannabinoids and miss every single time.
It's all about control, though.
It's not what they do. They don't.
Right.
They don't do natural. They don't do plants. It's like a baseball player going out on a hockey ice and not getting his butt kicked. It's not going to happen. You don't
Well,
understand it. You don't understand
Chip said it the best that God has created just about
Right.
every kind of natural product out there to help cure and keep you in good health.
it.
So
Yeah. Chip said sorry
you know.
about bringing up the religion. We're in the Bible Belt. This is God's plan. We all in
That's
this room
right.
believe that. So
has he written a book and has all these
he writes books and then he has to burn them so that the government doesn't come after him.
So I don't know if you remember, but he did a TED Talks, and they didn't publish his TED Talks.
because of pushback. And
Yeah,
you can
pretty
imagine where
wild
that
deal.
pushback would come from.
right.
Big
Yeah,
Pharma
because
doesn't-
he understands what the truth is about the
I'm scared of saying
endocannabinoids.
this out loud because I don't want Big Pharma to listen to the show and be like, all right,
Yeah.
tell us more about Chip Paul. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, they already know where he's at.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
But to answer,
Birds aren't real.
right.
You
Birds
know,
aren't real. Good.
but to answer your question, that's why he posts everything. He makes all of his information. He lets it out there. If
Free.
you want
Gotcha.
free. Because
Gotcha.
again, you can't pay for that kind of education.
Right.
And he knows if something happens down the road in his life, that this data isn't going to go unused.
That's
Right.
right.
And it's out there, so he's not, like you said,
Right.
Right.
giving it free away. But yeah, I'm just thinking that God, there's got to be something that shows you what all these natural, things are. I mean, you've really switched your diet over, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, it's just as I'm learning,
Right.
I'm just learning about some different ways to do different things.
Right.
because I'm, as we get older, right? I mean,
Right.
I got inflammation. I need to make sure I exercise every day. I got to make sure I drink enough water every single
That's
day.
right, baby. Hydrate.
Yeah. I mean, there's just, we have to start taking responsibility for our own personal health care.
Right. Hey, speaking of drinking, check this out. You're Iowa. Okay.
Hey, I'm really excited to listen to this one.
Right. Do you ever heard of Lua Brewing out there?
I have not.
Do you know where Ingersoll Avenue is?
I know exactly where it's
All
at.
right, check this out. You can now sip on Iowa's first cannabis-infused drink right here in Des Moines. Climbing Kites. What a great name, too. Climbing Kites is the latest invention from Lua Brewing. The local brewery is located there on Ingersoll Avenue. Now, I don't know this. I pulled this up because you're from Iowa. And we were on a call with a friend of yours who asked about drinkables. And in Iowa's a state, I don't know if you guys know this, Steve, Justin. Iowa is a state where even your Delta products, things like that, no combustibles. You can't smoke them. It's just a law there. So drinkables are kind of a game there, like more so than other places. So
they're not a legal state in medical or recreational.
They have a medical. Yeah, they have a
do
medical.
have a
Medical.
medical.
Run by one company.
Yeah, it's terrible, Paul. It's not what it won't survive national legalization. That's for sure. It's not compliant. It's not.
Shouldn't.
It's monopolized. Yeah, it shouldn't. So here, let's get back to the good stuff though. This drink does not have alcohol, but there is THC in it. That's the Climbing Kites. That's the part of the marijuana plant that makes you high. That's what it says here. The owner addressed some concerns people may have. He said, "We've got a lot of questions about what all is in this," said Scott Seelix. He's the Lua Brewing co-founder. He said, "How do you make this legally? What's all in it?" As I said before, it's all natural. It's water, it's citric acid, and there's a little bit of natural flavoring. And then there's some pure hemp-derived THC. It's 100% natural and 100% Farm Bill compliant. So I love this. I love that Iowans, is that how you say, y'all?
Okay, we'll go with that.
All right, Iowans.
Iowans.
I'm glad the Iowans have a
You're
cannabis
from
drink.
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
I'm a New Mexican, so
Yeah.
I take
So I think that's really cool that's happening there in Iowa. So we'll tell your friend, there's some folks that are doing some good things down there. It sounds kind of like a seltzer of sorts is what it sounds like.
But they're trailblazing something that's brand new.
Yeah.
It's outside of the market. It's outside of that scope of the corruption of the legal medical market there.
Yeah.
And they're taking a risk.
And that's a craft brewery doing that.
That's right.
It's not Budweiser. It's not all these yahoos who could do it with a swipe of a pen and spend barely anything of their percentages to do it. These are folks that are taking real risks to ensure that people have an alternative source for folks like us that don't want to get deep into the booze. We still want to go out and socialize. I still want to go to Uncle Jeremy's wedding party or Aunt Susan's. She won a whole bunch of money at bingo and she's giving it to me, so we're meeting at the bar. But I just think that this is a great alternative for people, especially in states that don't have a recreational market. That's a recreational product.
It's funny because a couple months ago, we kind of got into it about the whole beverage market, right?
Right.
And you were just dead set. And I'm just like, maybe.
I'm standing on it,
dude.
baby.
After what we went through this last weekend and what happened in Mocan Trade and the conversations that we had, I get it.
It's happening. The drinkables are a market that's going to happen. Do I need to take a break?
You got a few minutes.
All right. There is I want to point.
Hey, so thanks for highlighting Iowa, by the way.
Of course, brother. Nobody else is. Hey,
appreciate it.
So
maybe we could find like a brewery company up there, a craft brew company that would be interested in partnering on an opportunity to do that. You think?
Could be. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Especially if they were like driving distance to Omaha and had a really good patio and maybe even a field to grow the hemp in the back behind it. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
No.
Hint,
Actually,
hint, wink, wink.
Justin and I have had several of those craft beers and on the patio at Cade Creek Brewery.
That was actually the first time I met him. We probably drank for about 6 hours, and that's when I knew that Tim and I would be friends for a while.
We love Cade Creek, man. All right, so pull out your sheet that says "Cones Are Us."
I got that one on top here.
Oh, dang it! All right, we'll put that one away. Go to the one that says. No, I'm just kidding. Cones Are Us is the one I want. All right, so I told you guys earlier that the pre-roll market has been making some waves. See, you lied. You didn't have that on top.
I got it right here.
All right. And after this, we're gonna play. We're gonna come back from a break. And we're gonna end the show with real dispensary, fake dispensary.
All right.
All right. So let's go over cones, and then we're going to break. So it says that Custom Cones USA partnered with a data company to get some information about these the cones out there, the pre-rolls everybody talks about. It says that the growth of the pre-roll industry and its potential to become the #1 largest product category within the cannabis industry. Can you imagine that would beat out eighths and quarters and things like that? Just the pre-roll market alone, and it's because they're putting them in multi-packs. They're making them different ways now. There's, they're putting a lot more punch into a pre-roll.
You can buy a half gram or a gram pre-roll.
Right.
I think they even got some that are infused
Yeah,
pre-rolls.
yeah.
Think about that.
So just check this out. Check this out. In Canada alone, the pre-roll market grew in the last 2 years 1,426%, 1,426%. That's insane.
That
Okay,
is insane.
And disposable vapes are up 160% here.
Right.
Here in the U.S., our pre-roll sales over the last 2 years have risen 63%. That's pretty insane. Disposable vape pens risen 60% in 2 years. Infused pre-rolls risen 22%, and I think that's where everybody's going to be going anyway. These new they call them the hash holes is what they call them, the infused pre-rolls. So it also says that because here's where I wanted to
Are they
bring
selling
up.
those at Uranus yet?
They are not. No. So anyway, I want to tell you the big takeaway here for me. It says that it explains the product types that are increasing are pre-rolls, edibles, drinks, and vapes. Now, drinks is right there. Now, a lot of people, 17% of the market is what they say edibles are on an average. It's gonna go up. It's gonna go up the same way that as cannabis becomes more drinkable, more products, more places to actually consume. Because right now, it just doesn't matter a lot. If I can buy a 6-pack all day long, still can't go in the bar with my weed. But what I want to point out here is watch out, because what we're seeing here is that people just don't want a bag of pot anymore. They want it done for them. They don't want to sit there and infuse the pre-roll.
Right.
They don't want to pack the cone. They want all that done for them.
Right.
It's becoming that market.
Right.
The same way. Look at the Marlboros. You got all the packs up there, all the different cigarettes, right, that are available pre-rolled. How many people are going down to that bag full of tobacco with the papers and getting it? Only the people that can't afford to go up top anymore. So it's going to be
IPA drinkers.
right.
IPA
right.
guys. Sorry, guys, but it's true.
Let me catch a break so that we can come back and play real dispensary, fake dispensary. Justin's got us lined up. You guys, it's been a great program so far. I appreciate every single one of you that are listening today. You're listening to the Flower Power Hour. We'll be right back.
I'm so freaking tired this morning. Isn't saying something is indescribable just describing it? If a pregnant woman goes swimming, is she a submarine? What if two bots match on Tinder? Do they ever give up? Do fish get seasick in storms? Why is abbreviated such a long word? If a kid refuses to sleep during nap time, are they guilty of resisting arrest? Pizza is a circle, cut into triangles, and delivered in a square. Wax Off is the greatest dab cleaner ever. Kinda slippery. Huh? Not again! Thanks for waking me up, Lil Waxy.
Premium brand. Different. We're the best. High quality. Unique. Premium brand. Different. Unique. Premium brand. Different. We're different. We're different. Premium brand. Oh my God! Hey, those guys!
At BesaMe Wellness, we're all about supporting the health and well-being of our community. With a wide selection of locally curated medical marijuana products, we'll help find what works best for you. Don't have a card? Let us help navigate the application process. And if you can't make it to one of our 5 convenient locations, we'll even deliver to your door. Visit us in-store or online at besamewellness.com.
Here we have a prime example of a macaque. His name is Marcus. This particular macaque is bored. He's tired of the same old concert experience. Us too, little buddy. Well, you're in luck, Marcus. Introducing Captain Crossfade, a blend of THCV and CBC. This drink is the life of the party. Energy and focus, as well as an, enhanced experience with other consumables. Marcus is now ready to party all night long. Look at him go. Brought to you by Waxy Brown.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour, where we are about to play fake dispensary, real dispensary. Before we get into that, real quick, if you're in the Springfield area, I will be there at the Missouri Cannabis Micro Business Info Tour, June 28th. I'll be speaking there on veterans access rights, so I want you guys to check that out. You can find that on Mocan Trade's website. That's mocantrade.org. If you're in Springfield, I'll see you there. If you're in the Columbia one, I'll see you there. St. Louis, Kansas City, I'll probably see you there too, but I won't be speaking. But make sure you guys check those out if you're interested in micro licenses, micro businesses. You'll want to check those out. So go to mocantrade.org for more info, and I'll see you at the show. Justin, let's rock and roll with it. Real strain, a real dispensary, fake dispensary. Let's do it. Who's keeping score?
I got it.
All right, you're on it, Harmsy. Okay, all right, I'm gonna win this one. All right, Justin, it's gonna go. How do you want it to go, Steve? You want to go first or last?
I'll go last.
I'll go first, and then we'll go to Tim, Steve.
Right. So as usual, one real one, one fake one. You got to guess the real one.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is all weed must go, or anything but weed.
All weed must go is the real one.
No, I'm going the other way.
Anything but weed?
Yep.
I don't like it. What do you think, Steve?
I'm going to go with the same one you are.
Yeah,
all weed must go.
All weed must go. Sounds like an Oklahoma shop.
Anything but weed is the real one.
What the hell?
So I thought,
Am I allowed to say that? My bad, Steve.
I think we're done with this game, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
is this a legal dispensary?
Yeah, this sounds like
Yeah, this sounds like a farm bill compliant.
I don't know about this spot.
Yeah.
All right, Justin,
Anything
go ahead.
but weed. Huh?
So next one is phony baloney's dispo, or definitely not selling weed shop.
I'm going phony baloney's real.
Now I'll go the other way.
I don't like this. I feel like you guys talked ahead of time or something. Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to agree with Tim on
Tim?
this one.
Okay, I'm going with the baloney's the real one.
It's phony baloney is the real one.
Thank you. I would open a phony baloney. Wait, is it fake weed in there too? What kind of shops are you in? Are you in Iowa on the list of Iowan places? Okay, all right. Okay.
So I've got
these
high
Missouri
expectations.
dispensaries?
Oh, what?
Oh no, these are definitely not Missouri dispensaries. All of them.
Okay.
These are
Fine. Okay.
These are nationwide, potentially outside too. So,
Okay.
Okay, all right.
high expectations or high supply.
I would shop at either one of those. Man, I'm gonna get high at the high supply. That's where I'm going.
High supply.
High supply is where it's at.
High expectations.
It's high supply.
Aha. All right, we got that one, Tim. Good job,
All right.
buddy.
Yep. Hey, not that I'm really keeping score, paying attention, but Steve is 0-3. Let's go.
Okay.
Thought I got one right. I agreed with
All
you.
right.
I missed
So
that
the next
one.
Is it
That was phony baloney, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it joint jungle or blunt bluffs?
You have to go blunt bluffs.
It's on brand for me. I'm going to blunt bluffs.
Yeah, I'm
That's where
going to the jungle.
You're going to. I'm going to the
Really?
bluffs.
I'm gonna have to go to the bluffs because it seems like blunts are more popular than joints. You know.
Not according to the pre-roll sales I just told you about.
Well, are those
Yeah.
considered blunts or are they considered
joint? Pre-rolls are joint.
pre-rolls of joint?
You
Yeah,
can't
it's
change your
joint
answer,
jungle.
dude. No way. No, he's not. He's not changing his answer.
It's joint jungle is real.
Joint jungle's real. So is he 0-4 now?
He's 0-4.
It's crushing it. It's like golf. He's putting it in the perfect round.
Okay.
All right.
Next one.
So the next one is Kush for emergency or Chronic Central.
Going to either one of those two. I pass.
Chronic Central.
Was that one of the A, B, or C?
Chronic Central? What was the other one?
Kush for emergency.
I'm going because it's like push for emergency. That's so cool. If you made that up, dude, we have to. Never mind. We'll talk offline. I'm going with Kush for emergency because that's dope. But if I'm wrong, buy the website, Justin. Go ahead. You're going with the other one?
Yeah, Chronic Central.
Chronic Central.
I think I'm gonna go with Chronic Central myself.
It's Kush for emergency.
It's Chronic Central.
Then it is going to be
I got one.
Kush for emergency. Steve's not going home empty-handed. Okay.
We might make a T-shirt that says Kush for emergency. You know?
Yeah, dude, that's a great one. Okay.
All right. So the next one is Herb Bank or Terrible Florist.
What? Terrible Florist would be fire. That would be a cool name. You could do so much fun stuff with that. I'm gonna go with Terrible Florist. It is. That's real. They're already doing it.
What's the other one, Justin?
Herb Bank.
Yeah,
Herb Bank.
I'm going with Herb Bank.
That sounds lame. I wouldn't shop there.
I'm not asking you
I'd
to.
shop at what's the one I said?
Terrible Florist.
That's where I'd shop at. Terrible Florist. What
I'm
about
gonna
you?
go with Herb Bank. I'm gonna try to get 2.
2-0.
Yep. It is Herb Bank.
Yep.
TerribleFlorist.com.
Terrible Florist.
All right, here we go. All right. All right, go ahead.
All right. So Couch Consulting or
That's
Red Eye
so good.
Remedy.
Red Eye Remedy or Couch Consulting? Couch Consulting smells like Justin. It smells like he might have made that one up.
So pick, will you?
I'm picking that just in case I'm wrong. Couch Consultants for the win.
I'm going Red Eye.
Red Eye. What is that one? Relief? What is it?
Red Eye Remedy.
Red Eye Remedy. Oh man, that sounds real. Okay, yeah.
It can't change.
Sounds really real.
Can't change.
Okay, you go, Steve.
I'm going with Red Eye Remedy.
It is Red Eye Remedy.
Oh, dang it. Okay. I am a couch consultant. If anybody needs any kind of consulting out there, let me know.
Do you need a tiebreaker or how we sitting?
No, I've only missed one, so it's game's over. But we got one more to do.
Go
right?
ahead. Go ahead. We got a second.
All right.
Two more to do.
So is it Bud's Butter or Canacopia?
It's Cannacopia.
Bud's Butter.
Bud's Butter.
It's Canacopia.
Ha! I won. It was whoever got the last one won. All right. Hey, before we get off here, Justin, I want you to give folks that micro license website one more time for them.
Yeah, it's just momicrolicense.com/waxy. And that gets you into the discounted rates for our offering as well as the services if you do get a license built into that as well. So
Yep, and you'll start with a free consultation, so don't sweat the small stuff. Before we go, I want to talk about one last troublemaker. I know I got a minute and a half left. One last troublemaker in the world. Here we go. Let's see here. The German town of Aurich has given an 82-year-old man his last warning to avoid jail after he was found guilty of drug dealing despite 24 previous convictions. So the defendant, identified only as a retired seaman, reportedly said he wanted to improve his meager $690 monthly pension by selling marijuana and was, quote, handed a suspended sentence by the court. It is interesting. The judge shook his finger at the defendant at the end and said that this is his very last warning. And now Germany has emerged as a big focal point of legalization.
Keyword being dad.
Right. I think it's brilliant, though.
26 convictions.
26.
he's on double
24.
secret probation.
This
This
is
is your
25th.
last warning, Dad. I'm telling you, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, and you know he's sitting there looking at the judge like, yeah, I won't do it anymore. I won't do it anymore.
Son.
I won't get caught anymore. But I do feel for him, man. Even wasting somebody's time at 82 years old, he straight out told you he needs more money.
Can't live on 632.
690. He's not.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that gets him his whole one that he can purchase and spread amongst his friends. All right, guys, what a terrific show. Big shout out to Chip Paul, our endocannabinoid forensic friend, to the show. And a big shout out to K-Kid for putting us on, Route 66 Labs for making us look good, and Tim for winning
You said you always look good.
I lied so much.
Look
And
what you can do, Justin.
Tim for winning the game. Knock it off. All right, you guys are listening to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour. We'll catch you next week right here from the Robust Cannabis Studios, K-Kid 92.9.